Hi, everyone. I'm Charlene Shirk, and welcome to Digital Champions, where we speak to some of the most innovative thinkers in the digital space. And joining me today is my co-host from Santa Cruz, California, Jared Brick. Jared, so good to see you.
Always fun hosting with you, Charlene. Thanks for having me back.
Thanks so much. And our guest today is Kevin Koskella with Work Hero. Kevin, thanks so much for joining us today on Digital Champions.
Thanks, Charlene. It's great to be here.
Oh, we're so happy to have you. Let's jump right into it. Work Hero. I love the name of that company. Everybody wants to work with a work hero. So tell us what you do and tell us how you serve your customers.
Yeah, so we're a WordPress development and support subscription company. So we provide WordPress services, anything from support tasks to building websites mostly for marketing agencies. And we do that on a monthly subscription basis. So for agencies, there typically is a lot of work that needs to be done on WordPress sites. And we have a team of developers that they can just go into our portal, submit tasks, and get all their work done with us at a nice savings from what they would normally pay with like US development.
Got it. Kevin, so tell me, as an agency owner, what do you think is the pain point that customers are feeling the most coming to you?
What they're feeling is there's a lot of overwhelm with the WordPress tasks that are coming in. They are spending too much money trying to get their development work done. And they don't have like one place to go. A lot of the agencies that we work with, they were working with several developers, issues of disappearing developers, the infamous disappearing developer, and doing kind of one-off projects, which gets to be really cumbersome. Whereas we can kind of take care of everything in a monthly fee, and we can also work with going up and down. So if they have a busy month, then we move them up. If they have a slow month, we can move them back down so they can save a lot more money.
Got it. And so what do you think is your secret sauce as an agency owner that you guys do differently than everybody else?
Yeah, well, the first thing is we work strictly with agencies, so other agencies. So we know what they need. We know that the 80-20 principle usually applies, where you have like 20% of your websites are getting 80% of the work. And so we set up our pricing model to kind of accommodate for that. And then we also know that, most agencies building websites. So we have the assistant to help out the process. It's easy. We can respond. A lot of the tasks are 24 to 48 hours, and and we also are flexible and adaptable, and we work in the U.S. time zone, which is actually rare. There's a lot of companies that do this, but not many kind of keep the North American time zone.
And Kevin, in the next couple of years, where do you see, WordPress is kind of the good go-to, right? Everybody can figure out a good WordPress site, but yet you need that extra level of assistance for those plugins and those little complicated things. But where do you see WordPress and that's, everybody's talking about Web3 and the meta and the virtual and all this stuff. Will WordPress still be around in the next couple of years for those of us who are very comfortable with it?
Yeah, it's going to be around for a long time. Of course, I have incentive to say that, but it's taken over pretty quickly, taken over a lot of the web. Having said that, we are big believers, obviously, in WordPress, and it's so good for so many businesses. It's not for every business. It's not like everybody needs to be on WordPress. And the reason I named the company Work Hero and not Work Hero WP is that we wanted to start with focusing just on WordPress because it's like you described some of the problems, having the break and all that. That's well needed out there. There's a never ending amount of work for WordPress issues. Having said that, we also are working in Webflow. So Webflow is much smaller than WordPress as far as how much of the internet is taken. But we're starting to work with Webflow because agencies they have websites in Webflow, and that's becoming much more popular. So I would say yes, WordPress is going to be around. Webflow is also going to be around for many years, and it's just much better to get this stuff handled by somebody else, an agency, rather than trying to do it all in-house and trying to hire developers and things like that.
And I got to ask, you mentioned something, and Jared, I'm sure you picked up on it too, and you said the disappearing developer. Like, why is this become such an Achilles heel in an industry when everybody needs a website? Why are these developers disappearing on people? And I know my developer, he said that one of his number one things that they have to do is rescuing sites back from, I guess, a disappearing developer.
Yeah. Well, it's a lot. There's a couple things that go into that. One is that when you're hiring developers, it's difficult to hire. That's something that we kind of take care of for agencies. So the hiring process is, it's pretty easy to get on Upwork and just to pick the first developer that comes along. But a lot of times, you don't really know what questions to ask. It's just like, do they have the skills or not? And you hire them, and then it turns out, maybe they have some skills. They've got 3 other gigs that they're working on, and they get distracted and they forget things. And so it's that the kind of the gig life, the freelancer lifestyle, that they have a lot of things going on. You're not their number one priority. So it's easy for them to just kind of drop things. And it may seem really important to you, and you may indicate that to them. But when they have other companies that they're working for that are telling them they also have really important, urgent projects, their attention gets divided. And then you have, certain countries are harder to work with than others. You try outsourcing, and depending on where you're outsourcing to, it can be a big challenge. And knowing the kind of the culture and what things mean, and how they operate, and so that's another way. Another way that we kind of solve that, because we have a team. We've had our developers with us for some of them for years, and so they're part of the team. They're not going to just disappear. You can kind of count on our system to work.
And Kevin, last question for you. What's one tip you can leave for the business owner, that ideal client for you? What's one thing you can leave with them today?
For an ideal client?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that don't be afraid of outsourcing. A lot of people come to us, and sometimes their questions are about, like, how is this going to work? Is everything going to be safe? Is everything going to be secure? Are your people, do they speak English? It's like these kind of basic questions. And I think there is still, even though outsourcing has been around for a long time, I think there's still some fear out there about having someone else take over, someone else like that you don't know, that could live on the other side of the world, kind of take over your your websites and support you in that way. That just kind of like letting go of that fear, because with this, I hate to say the words, but this economy, but we're going into a recession, and like, these are the types of things that you just survive in this current time. You have to be outsourcing in some way or another. And so, yeah, that's what I would say, is just don't be afraid.
Got it.
So much for taking the time to join us today on Digital Champions. Great insight. We appreciate your help today.
Thanks, Kevin.
You're welcome. Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on.
And Jared, thank you so much. It's always so good to see you and have you on board as well.
Take care, all.
All right, well, that's going to do it for us on this episode of Digital Champions. If you'd like to learn more about what they're doing over there at Work Hero, you can start by checking them out on dailyadbrief.com.
Simplify presents Addressable CTV, combining the power of TV with the targeting and attribution of digital. Simplify's Addressable CTV delivers massive reach with the ability to scale without sacrificing precision. TV buyers can generate incremental reach with household-level targeting, frequency controls, reporting, and insights. To learn more about Simplify's Addressable CTV and what it can do for your clients, visit simply.fi.